Alright, I hope the internet is clear. Okay, today I actually wanted to talk about this one topic that I was talking about to a friend yesterday. Actually, last night, one of my friends ended up calling me and they were talking about what new things are happening in 2025. Uh, they asked me about what new things are happening with you and how universe has this power to kind of put you in so much trouble when something big has to happen. So I was that made me think about everything that has happened in the past 1 year, everything that has happened in overall all of these years, and in hindsight everything actually works out for the greatest good. And I wanted to talk about that particularly today because when I was 21 and I had just finished my college, like BCom college, my graduation. I did not know that I'd be here in a city that I don't know much about. I'd still be creating content. I always thought I'd be creating content, but I never thought that it will go on for so long. I didn't realize that how life changes, how so many things work out for you, how like randomly in I think when lockdown had hit and I had nothing to do, randomly started creating content. They were very lame. Oh my god, if I look at it now, I cringe out. Like I feel so much, like in despair of what am I doing in those videos, that they are actually scary, like but somebody who started those cringe videos are the reason why I am so comfortable in front of the camera, that I can blabber for about 2 hours and not care about anything in the world. I think your experiences, what you choose to do, give you that confidence to get to where you want to get to. It's crazy. Definitely crazy how life takes you to different locations, and you keep roaming around and you realize, oh my god, what is happening? But then at the end, sometimes you just feel like, okay, that happened and that's the reason why this is happening. Imagine, I sometimes always think about this. Okay, I think about how, if I would have not figured out my colors, right, then I would never have the confidence to kind of wear this. I sometimes think about how, if I never ever started making like random content during the lockdown, I would have never understood how to make longer videos on YouTube. I've been doing these lives for about a week now. Okay, yeah, today is when we've finished. We've completed almost a week of me doing these lives every day, which is I'm so grateful for. I have had the time, I've had the patience to do these lives, and that means the world to me. I see that some of you guys are watching. If you take the effort to go and subscribe to my channel, it would mean a lot. We are getting there. We're going to thrive in 2025, and we're going to make money out of YouTube. That's the goal for this year. So getting back to what I was speaking, a lot of things in your life have to work out in a certain way for you to become what you are. If so I used to work for a company before this. So everybody on the live, I hope you guys are able to hear me. I really hope you are. I would appreciate a comment confirming that. Anyway, so when I was working with my previous company, I had the opportunity. So I actually got into video making, right, in lockdown, and I used to be like, I used to make a very cringe content. Like all of that is in my Instagram account. Tap for dash. You'll have to scroll all the way to see my cringe self, where I still feel very uncomfortable looking at that all content. But because I started creating that content, I am able to do this. I had actually the company that I was working with last company that I was working with was. In that company, there was an opportunity for people to do Instagram lives, okay, at that time. And because I was the only one who could create content at that point, I was given the opportunity. Of course, I leapt onto it. I took the leap of faith to actually go and do those lives. But because I was open to being in front of the camera, I got the opportunity to actually do these lives. Because I could do these lives, it helped me a lot, because I got when you have to do a live for like a brand or something, they put on like huge lights. They were light in every direction, like it would legit blind you. There was so much light, there was like a mic attached to you, there was so much more, and it was such a scary process. Not just because you know your art, right? You know how to speak in front of the camera, but when you have like to 4 or 5 people sitting there with like, and you're in a mic and there's so much light, it was so scary, at least initially. But then when I got to a stage where I got comfortable with it, now doing these lives is just a piece of cake, right? So everything that happened with you is the experience that you're getting, which is going to lead you to a better tomorrow. It is going to make you so much more cooler. Sometimes I feel very bad that, I actually come from Goa, and I always feel bad that, my parents did not buy like a property, and I have to make money, and I have to get out of my house, and I have to live in different cities. But I think of it in a way, because they did not have that much money, I have the advantage to get out of my comfort zone and become this person, build my own life, build my own brand. Imagine that, if I was rich enough, I would love it. But if I was rich enough, then I would not have the opportunity to do this. Imagine that. And I would never have it in other ways. I also always talk about this, like, in my college and school, I was one of those people who sits down for every cultural event, and I've always been an enthu kid. I'm like a crazy enthu kid who blabbers, who loves to be around people, is extremely social. So I just always think that that might not be something that will be helpful for me in future. But in hindsight, that has taught me so much about life. That has taught me how to be in front of people. That has taught me how to uh, be around people. Even like bad experiences that I've had, like, I've been rejected. So I want to tell you this story. This is an amazing story. So about 3 years back, I had quit my first job, and I was looking for my next job. And I was technically like jobless at that point, and I was looking for this. I was talking to a lot of people, and I had gotten this job, and I was searching like crazy, every day applying on Naukri, every day applying on LinkedIn, and I would become like this zombie who just applies interviews, does the assignment, applies interviews, does the assignment. None of that was working out for me. And I don't know why, because I think I'm a decent person at interviews, and I was not getting selected at all. And it was super frustrating, because you know what, if you know, especially if you are one of those people who knows ki, hey, I can do decent, then when you don't get those opportunity and it doesn't work for you, you're super frustrated. So I was very frustrated. Okay, finally I got this opportunity where I had the chance to go to Paris and work there. Can you believe that I had that opportunity, from not having a job for about 6 7 days, and me extremely panicking, especially for like hyper independent people like me. I think we get very anxious when we don't have a job, because we've probably grown up in like messed up ways, where people have told us your job is what defines you, your whole purpose in life is to make money, etc etc. But I had this opportunity to go to like Paris, and I was like, okay, yes, done. The offer letter was, I mean, they only had to send me the offer letter, everything was worked out. All my work, all my papers, all my space slips were sent, everything was done. And I was like, oh my god, I got to get to go to Paris and work there. I was supposed to be the Emily in Paris before Emily in Paris even existed. Can you believe that? So I was super excited. I was like, I told my close friends, like, hey, you know what, I got the opportunity, I'm going to Paris. uh, they're not giving me that much money, but hey, I'm okay with it, because I get to go to Paris, like work from Paris. Like, Working outside India was like a crazy dream for me back then, and I was like, okay, let's do this. I was super excited. I wanted to do it, etc., etc. But last day of when they were supposed to send me the offer letter, they backed out. They just backed out. They just said, "Ki we can't afford you." After taking so many interviews, after doing so much, you just say you can't do it anymore. What? It was so frustrating, it was so annoying. I was so heartbroken. It was so hurtful, especially because I had worked very hard for these interviews, and I had done overthinking in ways that, like, I would find the love of my life there. I'd live the expensive life. I'll do this, I'll do that. Living inside outside India, oh my god, so fancy, so cool. Yeah, I was on that train of, like, oh my god, I'm gonna do so much when I move outside India. But they backed out, just like that. They did that with me. I was like, what? How can you back out? My whole family knows that I'm gonna go to Paris. It was so heartbreaking. I was so crushed. But at the end of the day, it was just like, oh my god, it's okay, it's fine. I think I took like 2 3 days to process it. I was like, oh my god, I'm not gonna go to Paris. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Then from there, I went to a better mindset where I was like, okay, maybe things didn't work out for me because they were not meant to be. Maybe every time, every time I'm done processing, my mind directly goes to, maybe that didn't work out for me because it was not meant for me. And that is what I have always thought. If an opportunity did not work out for me, if a guy did not work out for me, if a place did not work out for me, I always think that because there's something better waiting for me somewhere else. There's something amazing that's waiting for me somewhere else, and I am going to crush it there. I'm going to make my name there. Hence, I this didn't work out for me. So the Paris opportunity did not work out for me, and I was so crushed, so hurt. My whole family had to literally buy me ice creams because I was very sad about everything. Anyway, then what happens in like about a week is I get another offer from another company, which was a decent company, and I get, on that note, I also get another offer. So I'm at a 1 week back, I was at a stage where I had no offers, where my Paris dream was crushed. And 1 week later, I have two offers in hand, and both the companies are fighting with each other to give me the job and to get me at their company. I was like, what? What's happening? What is this? Oh my god, universe, what are you doing with me? So anyway, I chose the right company. I moved cities. I That's the whole reason I am in Pune, because I think I had to come to Pune. Because I came to Pune, I got to work so much with my own self. I got to explore myself. I got to build so much. I got to live in my own room. I got to create this whole vibe that I wanted to create. I could dress my certain way. I decided to learn so many things. I did so many treks in Pune. Oh my god, if you are in Pune, if you are in Mumbai or Pune, there are so many beautiful treks that you can do here. And there are these weekend trek people who will always take you and drop you back home. It's like a 1 day or 2 day thing. You should definitely check that out, because I could do that. I always thank that one opportunity which led me to Pune, because it led me to Pune, I could break out of so many patterns. At my home, I had so much healing to do. In hindsight, when I think about it, everything actually does work out. You might not know why these things are happening like this right now, or you might not know why it is happening in a certain way tomorrow or a week later, but after a point, you'll realize it that all these things that happened with you, they happened for a reason, because you had to reach to a certain level. They say that you have to get rejected multiple times to reach a certain level, and a rejection is actually not a rejection. It is a redirection to your dream life, to your goals. See, I used to feel very bad when people used to come and tell me this, that oh, rejection is like just redirection. But when you actually think about it, it's correct, right? Because my Paris job did not work, it was a rejection. It was a redirection to me to another job, which then also helped me get another job, and I could move to this beautiful city, which I call home right now. I know I'm stranger to this beautiful city, and uh, I don't have my family here, but this city has done so much for me. This beautiful city has done so much for me, and it could do so much for me only because I chose to move here. I chose to leave my comfort and come here. And I might end up moving back home. I might end up moving back to Goa. I might end up moving to another city. But this city has taught me so much that nobody else can uh, ever teach me. So another story of everything works out. I always tell this, that um, you had to learn certain things, right? So when I was younger, I used to always think like I want to be in a job role where I always look good. That's what I used to say. Like I was super obsessed with fashion even as a youngster. uh, and sustainable fashion, actually. And I still remember saying these things, I need to be cool, I want to look in a certain way. And because I used to talk about it so much, I've manifested being doing YouTube lives. Look at me now, that I've been able to do YouTube lives, and I've been talking for about 15 minutes, and there are decent amount of people who are watching this live. I'm able to add some value in people's life, which means a lot, for me. If I think about, is sometimes when I sit and think about how things have worked out, like how lower I had to fall to come back up, it is crazy. Because you have to work hard, right? You In last 1 year, it was such a difficult year. Last 1 year was the most difficult year of my life. I lost a job. I lost the guy that I was dating, my ex-boyfriend, who I thought was the love of my life. What? Yeah, like around the same time. So I had no job, no friends, no boyfriend, and I was so sad. I used to cry almost every second day and think about what my life has led to. Can you can how can somebody who's so organized, so so on time, so uh, so focused on like whatever she wants to do, how can that person lose out on everything at one point? How? But then I realized after a point that a lot of things had to go wrong for the right thing to happen. For me to find the right job, for me to start YouTube. Oh my god, I have been wanting to start YouTube. I think my first video was before, at least 2 3 years before, at least 4 years before I uploaded my first ever video. Like I've been wanting to do YouTube since 4 years back, and I was never consistent with it. And I realized that the only reason I am consistent right now, because I got the right push, because I had to go through so much. I have so many stories to tell now. There's nothing other than being on live and talking about them. I had to go through so much, that it's just worked out for me. Can you think, I always think about this one line that I read somewhere, one quote that I read somewhere, which says, um your the teacher will appear when the student is ready. You know how hurtful that is on days that you don't know what is happening in your life. And a lot of things happened in that direction. A lot of things happened where my teachers appeared in front of my eyes. My discipline appeared when I was ready. My health appeared. My the style that I wanted appeared. Everything just worked out in ways that I did not think it could ever work out. Life is such a messed up place. Like whole my whole life has been so jumbled up that sometimes when I think about it, sometimes when I just sit down and reflect, I realize that had to happen because I had to experience this, right? If that XYZ thing did not happen, then I would never experience this. I would never be a person who would stand up and say, if what whatever happens, I will stand here. I will make sure that I show up for myself in ways that nobody else is doing right now, because I was so lost. I was actually lost. I did not know what to do next, how to take care of myself, how to go through all of this. Like, this whole in the last 1 year, I think I've seen so many curveballs thrown at me in ways that I can't even imagine. Like, I never thought that a small, nice, decent girl who's living her jolly life in like wherever she is, that this would happen with her. Can you imagine? Okay, if you have joined in right now, please go back and watch this live, because this live has told you, I've told so many things in this live today. It's amazing. And I am so glad that this live, I could do this live, I could speak about all of these things, because if there is any proof in life that it actually works out, it's me. Things worked out. Things worked out in magical ways. There is magic in this world, and it will happen when you least expect it. When you have, all of these things like manifestation, working on yourself, self love, everything leads up to this perfect magical moment. And that just happens. You will just have to believe in it. If I believe that I will have 1 million subscribers by the end of this year, it'll happen. Because if I don't believe it, then it'll not happen. How will that happen? How can you buy something that you can't imagine existing, right? That's something that I actually want to talk about, this particular top, right? So this top is like the red color that Monica wears in Friends. If you watch Friends, if I'm a huge fan of Friends, and I love when Monica wears this red tops and dresses and beautiful colors. And I always wanted something like this. And randomly one day, I was just walking around, la la la, and I figured out this top is actually from Zudio, and I was just like, And you know how reasonable prices that Zudio has, right? So like the color that I always wanted was right there in front of me, and it was so affordable. It was so like easy to buy, and like I was like, okay, great, I should just get it. Like, sometimes in life you will run behind things, and you'll keep running and you'll keep running and keep running, and it'll just appear in front of you when you least expect it, right? That's how life is. I hope if you can take out anything out of this life, it's that things have a tendency to work out magically, and I hope I am able to send you some magic your way, so that things work out for you. If you are watching this live, please let me know what magical thing happened with you in the comments below. I would love to read them. I would love to know that there is magic in the world. I would love to see that there's something that worked out for you. If you liked this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I enjoy making these videos, and we have to get to 1 million by the end of this year. So so I'd love your help. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please make sure you leave a like, you leave a comment. I would love to read all your comments. I would love to see some love that you can send my way. Thank you for watching. Lots of love. See you in the next one. Bye.